we've pointed out that local variables are visible only within the function in which they're defined. So even though the variable v was just given a value by sum all elements when we called it, and of course it was called from myrand, we called myrand and it called sum all elements, and then v was given a value. Even though all that happened, we can't access v from inside the command window. Let's try it. V. Told you. In computer science terminology, we express this local variable restriction by saying that a function's variables have local scope. Scope is defined as the set of statements that can access a variable. And this limitation, that the set of statements that can access a variable are just inside the function in which the variable is defined, it's actually a good thing. It keeps things simple, and local variables are all we need in the vast majority of cases. And this limitation of scope to just the set of statements inside a function has a computer science term too. It's called local scope. Let's look at that. Local scope is accessibility by statements in only one function or only in the command window. But in some very, very rare cases, two or more functions and or the command window may need to share a variable. So maybe the command window needs to share this variable v. Well, let's see how to do that. We do it by creating a variable whose scope can extend outside the function. Such a variable is called a global variable. Let's suppose you wanted to make v global. Then somewhere in the function before v is used, we insert this declaration, and I'm going to put it right here before v is used. Global v. There. I'll put a semicolon. You don't have to have one. By the way, in MATLAB, you cannot combine this global declaration with an assignment. So, for example, you couldn't just do this, global v, and then put equals m colon like that. And in that case, you wouldn't need this statement at all. Do it like that. That would be handy. I mentioned that you can't do that because you can do it in some other languages. Okay, so let's go back. If I go right up here, you'll see this little reverse undo thing. Let's undo, undo, undo. There, we're back to where I wanted to be. Okay, now if you make the same declaration in the command window or in another function or in multiple functions or wherever you want to access this global variable, it'll be accessible there too. We'll do it in the command window. There, you can see v shows up here. Now when we run myrand, and let's do that, we'll just run myrand and give it, I don't know, 5, 6. Makes no difference what we give it for this purpose. If we access v, or attempt to from the command window, there it is. This time we can get v. Now what is v? It looks like a big long vector, and it is. If I scroll up, that's what it is. Remember, when we made v equal to m colon, this two-dimensional array m had its columns stacked up into one long column vector. And that's what we see here. But the point right now is that v is accessible both in sum all elements and in the command window. Okay, now you know how to make global variables. But the next thing I'm going to tell you is very important. Don't use them. Global variables can cause errors that are very difficult to diagnose because one function can change the values inside another function, like a ghost moving the furniture around, and you can't know which function did it. It's not that globals are inherently bad, they're not toxic, and sometimes they're the best approach. But until you have some real experience with programming, you're far better off leaving them alone. You should probably avoid using global variables until you've been programming for at least, let's see, I'm going to make it 2 years. For the rest of this course, we won't need them at all. We certainly didn't need one here. So I'm going to remove this one before I forget. There. All gone.